This was the last time John Paul II appeared before St. Peter's Square. It was Wednesday, March 30th, 2005. He was very weak and unable to speak. 2 months earlier, he had endured a tracheotomy, and that was followed by 2 serious infections. Locals knew his hours were numbered. Many decided to spend the night outdoors in St. Peter's Square to show support. The end was imminent. Inside his room, the Pope said goodbye to his closest confidants.
It was a silent farewell. There was no need for words. He looked at us in the eyes. Everything was already said. It wasn't necessary to try to say anything. The next day, less than 24 hours later, he died.
On the night of April 2nd, faithful prayed the rosary under the Pope's window in St. Peter's Square. The first official confirmation came just a few minutes later.
Che il nostro silenzio orante accompagni questi primi momenti dell'incontro del Santo Padre Giovanni Paolo II con Cristo nel cielo.
And that's when John Paul II received his first tribute after his death, an endless applause.
The first prayer recited in the room at the time of his death was not the prayer the Church usually does, which is a prayer for the soul's salvation. No, it was a prayer of gratitude. Naturally, not because of his passing, but because of his rich life that ended at that historical moment.
The next morning, his remains were taken to the Apostolic Palace so that members of the Roman Curia could pay their respects. A day later, his body was transferred to St. Peter's Basilica. Hundreds of thousands of pilgrims came to give thanks and to say farewell.
Less than 24 hours before his death, people began to arrive at St. Peter's Square. It continued to fill up over the following days. At first, Romans came, then from all over Italy. Then people from throughout Europe and around the world came in those days before the funeral and burial of John Paul II.
The Pope's main collaborator, Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, celebrated the funeral mass in front of dozens of world leaders. Strong winds blowing through St. Peter's Square added to the ceremony's sad mourning. At the end of the Mass, hundreds began asking, would John Paul II be declared a saint? Well, time gave them their answer.